Hello, I'm Ron. Welcome back to Nurturing Solutions for Seekers. Today we're going to talk about a broad subject, holding a space for the things that have been scary to talk about in your life. I personally have learned over the 25 years of teaching people this process of self-empowerment that there is no subject that is unsafe to talk about. However, I know fully well that every single person has a list of things that they don't tend to talk about. They may not have said, oh, it's because I'm afraid of that. There may be no conscious fear of it. However, I encourage you to take this inventory with me. Is it safe for you to talk about your insecurities? Is it safe for you to talk about things that you're not so great at or developed at yet? Is it safe to talk about your feelings? Is it safe to talk about your wounded negative feelings? Is it safe for you to talk about sex? Is it safe for you? There's a long list of things. So I know that it can become truly safe to explore every facet of your life, and anything that you don't put on the table for yourself, that you become aware of first, ends up squashed and avoided and runs the show of your life behind the scenes. It will cause you to make this choice instead of the one you'd rather make, because if I do this, I might be able to avoid facing something I feel insecure or afraid or ashamed about. The great news, there is a deeper adult reality where there is no fear and there is no shame. And the only way that I know of that consistently works is by first becoming aware of what you have held inside, that you have told yourself based on early experiences, usually, oh, that's not safe. Oh, I couldn't possibly talk about that. Oh, if I talk about this or bring this up, it'll create conflict. Or there's a long list of excuses which only equal, this was my perception at some earlier time. So I'm here to give you a clear, safe, simple way to begin to bring these subjects up just for you, just in the privacy of your own awareness. What I suggest, most people have a computer. Actually, you probably wouldn't even be watching this video if you didn't have a computer. So just on your computer, open a file. Don't name it, don't save it. Just open a file and begin to take the first steps. Explore. What am I insecure about? What have I been historically? What am I afraid to talk about? What does scare me? Now, my defense structure didn't like to admit it was scared of anything 20 years ago, 30 years ago. However, I discovered a long list of things that were held in here, but I had numbed out to them. So on this file, just begin to type one thing. See it there on the page. Tune in and do what I call an adult reality check. Any threat to my well-being just from admitting this part of myself out loud or outside of myself? I guarantee you, you will be safe. Write down as many of the topics as you can think of. And then, if you choose, delete. Just delete the file. This will give you a starting place to admit it out loud. Then, as you're ready to begin enhancing that, simply come to one of your topics and write down how you have been feeling about this. I have been so afraid that if I ever brought this up, that no one would ever like me, accept me. Write it down. Own what you've been carrying in here and find out that it's safe to begin to create this kind of a movement. Honor it just for yourself. That's as far as we're going to go with introducing this topic today. I guarantee you it is important and it will be safe for you to get used to these subjects being on the table. And believe me, just because something is easy for you does not mean it's easy for somebody else. And the same goes for just because it's challenging to you doesn't mean it's challenging for someone else. It's all learned behavior. So honor you, and as you do and begin to bring this up, honoring and deleting if you choose, you'll be able to hold a greater space for others, encouraging them as well. We'll talk later about what you build some confidence with and how to then begin having an out loud conversation with one person whom you trust. That's for another day. For now, champion yourself, stretch the comfort zone, and find out that so much more is possible. Have a great week.